yeah, so yeah, I mean, should I just keep telling the story of Kong, I guess?
Well,
Just like,
hold on. I got some questions.
okay.
Before we get post COVID, I like the in between, right? Because when you have an idea, you said that you didn't think it was a good idea or whatever,
Right.
and then you see reactions, right? That usually gives you some energy, some hype, some belief, so it's kind of easy to keep going. But from that period when, not necessarily when the hype died down, but when you guys realized that this was real, from that moment until you got your first sale,
Right.
what was that patience like? You know, trying to ask people for investments, learning skills, working other jobs in the meantime. Because I think sometimes until you get like a real penny, that patience in between the idea and the actual, you know what I'm saying, income, it can be challenging. So I'm curious, like, what got you guys through that?
Yeah, honestly, that period of time was really fucking rough. I think like one of the, so like, have you guys ever heard about how like progress is like really like what makes us happy? Like making progress towards goals is like one of the things that like I would say, you know, entrepreneurs would argue that that is like the I don't know, I want to say like the best thing in life, but like making progress towards goals is very important. And I think like in that period of time, I didn't really feel like I was making a whole lot of progress towards this goal of getting the Kong here and selling it. And to be honest, had we not taken somebody else's money, like family friends' money, $18,500, I probably would have given up, realistically, because it was like years of just very incremental progress. I was alone at the time. You know, my business partner, Hunter, had kind of like moved on with his life a little bit and was like, you know, just focused on school and shit. And so it was really just me just trying to like figure out how to like move things forward. And I just didn't really know how to or what to do. And like, I was like focusing on these other skills and stuff that like I was hoping like would lead to, you know, better selling the Kong once it got here. But they weren't like directly like helping me to progress Kong really. And dude, I remember like honestly, like when we lived together, like all of us it would have been actually the second year. So remember the first year you guys lived in the big bedroom in the front of the house. And when I moved into that bedroom, so it was like the next year, I remember like there was a long period of time where I actually like didn't get out of that bed. Like I would literally wake up and spend all day laying in that bed. Cause I think it was the semester that I took off school. Cause I took a semester off school so I could like focus on like, photography and like, you know, Kong and stuff like that. And I remember I just like didn't really feel like I was making a whole lot of progress. And I literally would wake up and like spend all day in bed and then just go back to like go to bed, like without actually like really getting up other than like go to the bathroom and maybe eat food or something. It was bad. I was like kind of like low-key like depressed at that point. And I think like the biggest reason was just because like I had this like goal. I like really like sacrificed like a lot, as in like I took off a semester off college to just like pursue this. And then I don't know, it was like it's weird because the fact that I was laying in bed all day made it so I wasn't making as much progress, which was making me depressed and want to lay in bed. So it was like a cyclical thing of just like I spiraled into just like, just feeling terrible, honestly. So it was rough, basically, to answer your question. That time like sucked a lot. And I think like eventually, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, I just didn't give up. Like I just always had that, like I saw like, you know, from 2017 when we launched that Kickstarter, I saw that like there was something there that like people were buying it. And I saw this as like my ticket to just like, at least maybe my first company, basically my first possible successful company. And so I didn't want to like give it up, but it was really fucking hard because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And it's like I wasn't in communication with the factory. I was kind of like at mercy of like them and the person that I was using to like communicate and stuff. So Yeah, blue. basically, basically that's what it is. Without saying anything like too crazy, I'd say like one big thing that definitely I've always recognized like really helps me is honestly just like having a partner to like work with, like having somebody there who you can bounce ideas off of, who you know like has your back. Because like essentially with entrepreneurship, you're kind of like stepping like out into the abyss, right? Like where like you don't really know where you're going. It's like stepping out like into darkness, and you're kind of like constantly like trying to make your best guess of like where to spend your time and like which direction to go. And doing that alone sometimes can be like I don't know, just really difficult. Um, so having like somebody there who like you can kind of bounce ideas off of and say like, okay, like yeah, we both agree that that direction is the best direction to go. You just step that direction like a little bit more confidently, and I feel like at the time, like I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I didn't know which direction to go, and I feel like that paralyzed me, and I just didn't do anything. So like, and I'm not saying like having a business partner is going to solve everything, but it definitely like helps a lot. I've found, even like today, like, you know, in like the projects I'm working on, I always would rather prefer to have a business partner than not have a business partner, just because like, yeah, that advantage that I just described. Also, it's fun to be able to like come back to your business partner and say like, oh, like here's the progress I made, you know. I was able to do this and this, and like, you know, now we're gonna be better off because of this. It's like I think you get like a little bit of like a dopamine rush for some reason, for like, you know, from like completing tasks and then being able to like tell your business partner. That for some reason in my experience, like I don't get the same when I do it myself sometimes. And I'm just alone. But so I'd say like that's like one thing that definitely would have helped, is maybe just like had, you know, I know I had a business partner at the time, but he was a little bit like absent at that point. But like working with somebody on something, or like on the project, or I mean, like the boring answer would be, you know, I think I just wasn't doing a good job of like really brainstorming like what were like the tasks that needed to be done, really, like, you know, the night before, brainstorming the tasks that I needed to do the next day, and like just trying to make that incremental progress, and like really just focusing on like the big picture. Like at the time I was focusing on the big picture and like, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever, like it's so hard, I'm so confused, instead of like focusing on like the small little incremental like things, and like rewarding myself for just like making progress on the little things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like setting up my first Facebook ad, or like whatever I needed to be doing at that time, like just really breaking it down into baby steps and then just focusing on those. I feel like, and honestly, even to this day, like that's still super key. Just, you know, constantly making to-do lists, and making those to-dos on the list just small enough where like it's not, you know, it's just like a very simple individual task. And then just crossing those out, and like you have to just reward yourself when you like, you know, kind of like mentally
get a little win.
Yeah, when you just like cross those things out. But I just don't think I was like doing that very well. I was just paralyzed by fear, to be honest. Yeah, I just, you know, my family thought like what I was doing was wrong by taking a semester off college. I didn't have anyone working with me. I wasn't like doing a good job of, you know, creating tasks and checking them off. Like, but I don't know. I feel like I can say all this to somebody who's in that same position, and they'll be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, wow.
Right.
You know, so it's like, it's hard. It's really fucking hard. I feel like you just have to mentally, I don't even know, like get yourself out of fucking bed. That's for sure. Like just like getting yourself up. Like, I don't know, maybe that's like the first step. Just get the little win, work out. I mean, that's always been like a really good thing for like, you know, your mental. And then, yeah, just slowly check off to-dos.